Mm-mm-mm-mm. Good morning, people. Whoever wants to watch, if you're out there listening, checking this out, whatever, good morning to you. It's that time again, and so I can tell you going in, today is probably going to be a little shorter than a lot of my morning streams have been, just because I have a hugely busy work day lined out ahead of me. Crazy deadlines, crash and burns on stuff, which is part of the artist gig. It's like you bust your chops to get the jobs, to get the clients and all that kind of stuff, and to be making the properties and the things that you want to make. And with that comes some responsibilities, and those responsibilities are almost always very, very time sensitive. So everybody needs everything sometime about day before yesterday. And if you want to be able to succeed in any version of art, or media or creativity, any of that, you need to be high quality, under budget, on time, all the time. And it's tough. It is tough. Nobody can maintain that at 100% all the time. Everybody's gonna have moments where they fail, where they falter, but you gotta give it your all. You gotta give it that every day. So that means today, as has been the case for a couple of days, probably gonna have to bail out a little quicker than I would like, but I still am committed to the stream and to doing the sharing my morning warm-ups, and it's kind of my morning ritual of getting the brain and the hands flowing. So let's jump on into this, okay? So right now, today, instead of going 3D, I'm going to be working in Clip Studio Paint, formerly Manga Studio. I don't know why they ever changed that name. Somebody let me know. Why did they change that name? Is there any statement anywhere on why they changed that name? I've been around for a while, been around since they changed that name, since long, long before it. I don't understand why they changed the name. I like Manga Studio better. Manga, whatever. Manga Studio better. But they call it Clip Studio Paint, so that's what it is. Clip Studio Paint these days. So you'll notice I'm working in a horizontal landscape orientation in here today. That's because I'm kind of focused on belting out new concepts for, well, I like to do a lot of concept art going into products that I'm going to make for my 3D clients, my 3D customers. So for those who may be just finding me, a large portion of my work is 3D modeling and rigging and all that kind of stuff that goes out as products for users of Daz Studio. And so I tend to do a lot of concept art leading into that, so I can plan those products out and be able to give them, you know, I don't know, it's like I get my creativity out, I get the art side of it out, get all those kind of things down, and plan out my sets quite a bit on quote-unquote paper. Actually, sometimes I do. I have, maybe sometime we'll do a couple of streams where we start going back through some of the old sketchbooks. I actually keep a sketch diary, keep sketch diaries and label them, like, so that I can go back through, like right now I can go all the way back through to 2004, I think 2003. And I think somewhere I still have a sketchbook from the late 90s. So on my shelves, one of these days, after we get some things done and I clean this place up a little bit, it's not super messy, but it's messy enough that I won't put it on camera right now. One of these days after I clean up the studio a little bit, I'll give you guys a little bit of a tour and show the place off. And one of the things that you'll see is this bookcase over here that has a couple of shelves on it that are just sketchbooks. And they're really just the sketchbooks I've somehow managed to not lose through the years. But since I was a teenager, I have kept sketchbooks that I would write the date on the spine of them, and that way I could measure my own growth. So that's a super cool thing to do. I encourage people to do that. Of course, if you're working digitally, it's a little different, but at least those files are kind of dated and you can organize them that way. But I would actually go the extra step of creating, you know, like if you're in Clip Studio, create a book for yourself. Like I have a big sketchbook file that I just keep adding pages to. And that's chronicled my growth over a couple of years, over a few years. It's nice to be able to go back and look at your own work from 5 years, 10 years past, and kind of analyze. What's funny is how often you'll find you've grown and you've gotten better, but there'll be some little characteristic thing from the past that you've lost. And by having that historical document there, you know, that you having that diary that you can go back in the past and look at your work back then, you could go back and like sometimes you find a little bit of magic in work that you had from forever ago that you may have lost, and you could see it and it'll rekindle that. But then you'll come back to it with the added skill that you can only get from time. So being able to do that is very nice. It's a way to sort of, it's a way of preserving today you for future you, so the two can sort of work together to make something better for further future you in this weird psychobabble sort of way. I know that's a funky way of thinking about things, but I tend to think in that way a lot. I think about me in the past, me right now, me in the future, and I think about them sometimes as like different people, and what can me today learn from me back then, and what can me today do to help me in the future. And that really Dude, that's such a crazy way to think, but it helps inform a lot of things that you'll do. And keeping those diaries is a great way to do that. So anyway, it was a tangent I got off on for a second. It's kind of the beauty of live streams. They're kind of unfiltered, and I like to kind of go off on those. It's like when a crazy thought comes to mind, I like to follow it. So anyway, let me switch over to where we be today, and let me just reorient the... Oh, shit. Uh-oh. That's bad. Oh. You still there? Hmm. All right. It looks like I accidentally bumped the top of my Cintiq and royally sent some things off. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reset. Give me just a moment. Mm. Don't tell me I gotta do this. That's magical. All right, I'm gonna have to restart this. Let's see if restarting Clip Studio helps. And I'm also going to have to, I think, restart my camera. All right, we're back. We're back. My bad. Sorry about that. Mild technical difficulty for just a moment. I have the webcam that I'm in frame on down here is on the top of my my Cintiq, right where the power button is, and if I scoot that a little bit, trying to center anything up, then I end up sometimes bumping it and having to restart my Cintiq. So, pardon me, pardon moi for this moment. So, there we go. Everything's back up and running. So, if you're using a Cintiq and you ever run into that, where like you do something, you bump something, it comes back up, and your pressure sensitivity and all that stuff is dead, you can hit the Windows key and type services, and then click on the big list that comes down and hit W and find where it says Wacom services. Restart that, and then restart the software that you're in, and it'll probably fix it. It'll probably bring your pin back up. So, and the reason I know these steps is because, wow, have I done that a bazillion times. So, you know, it's like, I don't know these things because I'm particularly smart. I know these things because I'm utterly stupid. And I make these dumb mistakes on a regular basis, but I commit them to memory because, you know, you make the same mistake 5 times, you keep figuring out how to do it. Eventually you're like, oh yeah, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do that. So there you go. That's my gift to you this morning if you're a Cintiq user and you run into these problems sometimes that, you know, just for whatever reason, like right now, you're bumbling around and you bump the thing and whatever. So there you go. So let's get into doing some drawing this morning before I have to jet, because I do have some really, really deadline sensitive stuff to do. And so I need to pop something out here this morning just to get things going. So, I honestly have no idea where I want to go with this. So I am thinking long and hard here about doodling up something maybe like a creature face or something just to get started. So let's start off with some guides on a general head. And it's so funny. One of the big things that I've changed about as I've gotten older is the longer I have been drawing for, the more I actually adhere to using some kind of traditional drawing methods and guides, because it gives me, like, if I'm having a moment where I'm maybe drawing a blank and I'm not real sure where to go, I can at least be like, well, let's just start slamming a figure out. So that's really useful. So I can go ahead and put in some of this kind of stuff and, you know, start this whole process here of at least blocking in something. So let's see. What should I do here? What should I do? And folks who may or may not join in watching live, like, I will kind of semi-regularly check chats and all that kind of stuff, and or try to, you know. I'd like to get these streams and things built up to where maybe someday I have like a moderator hang out and help with all that kind of stuff. Also, by the way, I think I tried to do a stream yesterday and I don't think it went out, and I wouldn't be surprised because I have been a little under the weather lately. And by under the weather, I mean I have actually a cracked tooth that is kicking my butt, and like I feel like maybe I'm wearing it well right now, but actually this tooth thing is not cool. It's really, whatever is the opposite of cool, it's this cracked tooth business. So, and yeah, it's really pretty aggravating. So I've been kind of hit or miss over the last few days, and which is, it plays into why I got some deadline crunch stuff, because it's been a little bit hard to work. So anyway, what should this guy become? One of the beauties of working digital. All right. Oh yeah, I was just in the gym last night doing chest and shoulders. So that's what he gets to have here, is chest and shoulders. Woohoo. All right. I feel like doing something real gnarly. I'm gonna kind of fade that layer out just a little bit, add another one over top of it, but still in the non-photo blue. I really like working in that. Actually, let's turn that off. Let's go straight in. We'll do like pencil stroke sort of thing. And here's a little thing that I do sometimes too. If I want to have something that kind of has a visual feel of paper, but you know, in this digital environment, I will. Let's see, patterns. Where's it at? No, dang it. Where's my stuff all at? I'm feeling real silly here. Oh, no. monochrome patterns. Here we go. Textures. So I will take a texture out of here, like this fine textured, and just drop that onto the page, and then set it to overlay. And what's the other thing? So like, here it was. We hit this guy right here. It's the overlay texture, and it gets much more of a pencil kind of quality to it. And it's funny how much your eyes and your hands actually talk to each other, because I find that having that that sort of texture in place just makes it feel more real to me. It doesn't take much either. There we go, just a little bit of that. Okay. Now let's think about what kind of dude I want to work with here. Sometimes I'll pop over to like Pinterest, and which I'm not having on the screen right now, but I'll like pop over to Pinterest and just look at kind of a smattering of different things. So let's go towards let's do something along the lines of like a zombified pirate. Okay. And yeah. Let's get. All right, I think I've got some ideas going here. If you hit your tab key, and this is common in lots of programs, with that tab key, it will make a lot of your interface go away. All right, and I'm going to go super sketchy today, which I don't usually do outside of my blue lines, but I'm going to do it today just because I'm feeling like it. And I want to get something in here before I have to jet. So, for those who might not be aware, the music that I keep playing in the background a lot of times is actually music that I make. So that's another thing that at some point I hope to share. I love music. I've joked for a long time that I do art to pay for my music habit. So let's go with something here. I may thin some elements of this guy out just a bit. Kind of start creating some conceptual guides there for wrinkling and so on. I do love that layer trick, how much it does look like pencil now. I think I'm going to bring that music up just a little bit because I can totally see myself getting... Oh, crap. Is this not going out? Oh. Weird. There we go. Let's fix all of that. Oh, man. Okay, we're just going to delete that out of here. There we go. That's more like it. And there I am. Okay, cool. Man, can't believe I was sitting here doing that and not actually streaming that. I think the streaming software didn't catch up with things after I had to restart the Cintiq, so pardon me for that. So I'm going to turn this music up, get some creepy vibe going here, and slam on the sketch for a little bit. Okay. Sometimes if I need to add to my underdrawing, I can just pop down into my lower layer. That can help me gain some guides. Add some guides in. Gotta shake it out. All right. I feel pretty good about that. It's a good way to start the day. A little zombie pirate action. Kind of wanted to do something piratey that didn't involve the big crazy hats and all that stuff. Something that was a little more, I don't know, like, I don't know what to call it. Yeah. Anyway, something a little more exotic looking, I guess, compared to that. Really dig that idea. So it's something I might come back and revisit this as a painting later, and who knows? Who knows where it'll end up? But it's a good way to spend a little bit of time this morning, getting the juices flowing and the hands loosened and all that crazy business. So anyway, yep, there you go. That's your stream for the morning. Thank you very much for hanging out if you did, and watching if you do later. So yeah, thanks again. Hope you dig it. Hope you dig the artwork. Dig the time together in the morning. It's something I really like doing. It's really beneficial, I think, for artists to treat their art, treat doing the act of doing your art as if you were trying to be a, I don't know, pro baseball player, pro basketball player, pro football player, or something like that. Okay, you have to do it every day. You have to practice it every day, and even if you've gotten to a point where you actually have work and you're maybe making a little living or a side revenue doing it, and you start to think, well, it's my work, so I'm doing it for X number of hours a day, so I'm good. No, you're not good. If I could add 12 more hours and have a 36-hour day, I'd be doing the stuff for that much more time, because that's what it takes to get good. And I'm adequate, like I'm confident that I can do to a high level what my clients want, what my customers want, and what they enjoy, and I enjoy doing that. I'll always be my own worst critic. So like I can look at any of the artwork that I do, and there'll be a dozen different things I can pop off the top of my head that I don't like about it. But I do feel good enough with it to continue to push it, and I've managed to make a living out of it for 26 years, 27 years. So it must not be that bad. But the point is, you can always get better. You can always get better. If you ever think you've reached your peak, that's when it's time to stop. Full on. If you think you've reached your peak, it's time to stop. Never think you've reached your peak. You can always get better. You can always get better. And then when you think you've gotten better, guess what? You can still get better. Better. All the time. Always be working to get better. Practice. A great man in my life. For those who don't know, I have like a real love of martial arts, and in particular Shotokan Karate Do. And a great man in my life, Sensei Dwight Holly from Cincinnati Shotokan, would say over and over and over and over and over. What was it? It was why am I drawing a blank on it? It was a repetition. Repetition equals retention. Okay, so you have to repeat. You have to repeat. You have to do it over and over and over and over. I don't know why. There is a specific phrase he would always say, and I'm drawing this total blank on it. Oh my God, he's going to kill me. He's going to be laughing. If he watches this, he's going to be laughing at me so hard. Oh, that's going to drive me nuts. That's going to drive me nuts now. Don't you hate it when you do that? You have a brain fart and you just like, there's a thing that's so super important. You're like, oh yeah, I gotta say this. I gotta share this. I gotta, it's gone. And you know it's there because you've had it in your head every day forever. You hear it all the time. Oh, man. Well, there's plenty of little nuggets that I get from him that all equate to a lot of the same thing, really. And one of them is, practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. And repetition, repetition equals skill. Repetition, 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 repetition. Repetition breeds retention. Repetition breeds skill. Oh, I'm actually going to have to go back and listen to some videos from him and look at conversations from him now and remember that stinking phrase. It was beaten into our heads, beaten into my head for a decade and a half. Oh my God. Oh, he is going to laugh at me now, and that's okay. Oh, I moved too quick. Camera's out of focus. Hello, camera. Hello? There we go. That was wild. Yeah, crazy. So, anyway, yeah, point being, you have to practice. You have to practice every day. You have to, you know, get yourself on a schedule. Get up, get out of bed, get out there and get to doing it every day. Sketchbook, whether it's in a sketchbook, whether it's on canvases, whether it's on the computer, whether you go to your favorite coffee shop, sit down and you grab a drink, you sit there and sketch whoever's there, or something I used to do back in a long time ago, back when they were still somewhat viable. I used to go to shopping malls with a sketchbook and just sit and watch people walk by and sketch and study them. Look up artists that you love and literally copy them for page after page after page until you feel like you've got an understanding of them. All that kind of stuff. Practice, practice, practice. Every day, every single day without fail. All right. Hope you enjoy this stuff. I hope some of the stuff that I share like that, even when I have these total brain farts, I hope you guys dig it because, it's stuff. I only say stuff like that I wish I had someone who could have said them to me when I was, 18, 19 years old, just coming up and starting out. So anyway, let's just kick back over and finish this out, back on our zombie pirate here. Thanks again for watching, listening. As always, like, subscribe, share, all that groovy stuff. Remember, soon, probably in the next couple of weeks, we're going to start up the mailing list, start sending out, I think I'm going to do bi-weekly, like every other week, mailers that will have updates and things on stuff that's going on with the studio. When I say the studio, I'm talking about myself and my son Killian, who works with me, and the other artists and collaborators who I have on deck, some of whom I hope to eventually maybe get on the stream and start sharing some stuff. I actually would like to do some interviews with some of them and introduce folks to some of them. But yeah, there is a lot going on. As a studio, as Sixus1 Media, we've got a ton going on. Sixus1 Media / Les L. Garner Arts is really what we're going by. To be honest, one day I'll probably end up moving away from the Sixus1 name and really just boil it all down to my name. But for now, so I would really like for Sixus1 to become kind of its own thing as a studio outside of me one day. But until then, it's really two entities, Sixus1 Media, Les Garner Arts, with one being the focus on more of the 3D modeling and animation and all that stuff, and then Les Garner Arts being my personal stuff like Apocalypse Girl, some of the other comic projects that I have coming up. So, yeah, anyway, I'm starting to ramble on about that, which I'm super bad about doing. Anyway, again, thanks, like, share, subscribe, all that groovy stuff. Go to Sixus1.com and sign up for the newsletter. And till then, keep practicing, keep drawing, keep digging art, and have a good time with it. Thanks.